In the world of global pop music, major collaborations rarely begin with press releases. They begin with quiet studio visits, brief public sightings, strategic social media interactions, and the kind of industry networking that only becomes meaningful in hindsight. For Jungkook, BTS member, solo global chart topper, and one of the most commercially powerful Korean artists of his generation, February 2026 has become a month of subtle but highly scrutinized movements. Recent appearances at international fashion events, reported interactions with Western producers, and increased cross-border industry visibility have led fans and analysts alike to ask a single question: is Jungkook preparing another major international collaboration? There has been no official confirmation from HYBE or any global record label, yet the pattern emerging over the past several weeks has reignited discussion about Jungkook's next global move, particularly following the unprecedented success of his previous solo era. This article examines the factual developments, industry context, fan analysis, and realistic possibilities behind the growing speculation. Before addressing speculation, it is important to separate confirmed activity from assumption. 1. Increased global event presence. Since early February 2026, Jungkook has been documented attending high-profile international gatherings tied to fashion, music, and entertainment. His global ambassador roles continue to place him at the intersection of cultural industries, where artists, producers, executives, and creatives often converge. Such events are not unusual for Jungkook. However, observers noted that his recent appearances included informal networking moments with individuals known primarily for music production rather than fashion. While photos circulating online do not confirm studio activity, they do confirm proximity to notable international figures within the music industry. 2. Social media signals. In the digital age, fans analyze everything: follows, likes, playlist updates, shared listening activity, and even background audio in live streams. Several international producers were observed interacting with Jungkook's content or being present at the same venues during overlapping timelines. None have publicly confirmed collaboration. However, this is consistent with how early-stage global projects often unfold, quietly. 3. Historical precedent. This would not be Jungkook's first major international collaboration. His previous solo releases involved partnerships with Western producers and resulted in substantial chart performance across the US, UK, and European markets. Industry observers note that Jungkook's brand identity has increasingly aligned with global pop rather than regionally limited promotion. From a strategic standpoint, another cross-border project would not be surprising. The economics of global pop. Jungkook is not merely a K-pop idol. He is a proven international streaming force. Global collaborations serve multiple purposes: expanding radio play across Western markets, strengthening award season positioning, increasing multi-region chart longevity, diversifying genre experimentation. Given that BTS as a group has completed military service and is re-entering a new chapter, solo activities remain a strategic pillar during transitional phases. From a label perspective, maintaining Jungkook's solo momentum internationally strengthens both his individual brand and the group's long-term positioning. Timing considerations. Major collaborations typically require studio recording, months in advance, production and mixing cycles, marketing strategy alignment, global distribution planning. If a 2026 release were planned for mid-year, early-year studio interactions would align with that timeline. However, again, this remains speculative. ARME communities are known for detailed pattern recognition. Over the years, fans had accurately predicted projects based on subtle clues. In this case, fans have highlighted coordinated travel windows, overlapping event attendance, similar aesthetic shifts in Jungkook's recent styling increased English language engagement. It is important to note that fan analysis does not equal confirmation. However, historically, major Jungkook announcements have followed similar quiet build-up phases. Another reason speculation has intensified is musical direction. Jungkook has previously expressed interest in R&B, alternative pop, UK garage influences, contemporary Western chart styles. If collaborating with international producers again, fans anticipate either a refined continuation of his established global pop sound or a stylistic shift that positions him beyond his previous solo identity. The latter would mark an important artistic evolution. 2026 is not an ordinary year. It represents post-military re-entry era, potential BTS group comeback preparations, industry recalibration after global touring cycles. For Jungkook, timing matters. Releasing a high-impact international collaboration ahead of a group comeback could reinforce individual brand dominance, expand global audience demographics, and increase leverage in award circuits. Yet such decisions depend on internal strategy, not public speculation. It is equally important to outline the boundaries of current knowledge. As of today, no official collaboration has been announced. No studio confirmation has been released, no teaser content exists, no trademark filings tied to Jungkook's name have been publicly identified. Therefore, any claim beyond observed interaction remains unverified. Responsible reporting requires that distinction. Jungkook occupies a rare position in global pop culture. Any movement, from airport appearances to Fashion Week attendance, becomes headline material. Speculation spreads rapidly due to his proven global chart impact, strong fan-driven online ecosystems, media outlets monitoring engagement trends. In the absence of official statements, silence often amplifies curiosity rather than suppressing it. One strategic uncertainty remains. Will Jungkook prioritize solo expansion before a full BTS comeback cycle? Historically, BTS members have balanced individual artistry with group commitments. A high-profile collaboration could serve as both: personal artistic expression, brand strengthening before group activity resumes. However, without official scheduling, the order remains unknown. To understand whether current speculation surrounding Jungkook is plausible, it is helpful to examine how previous high-profile K-pop collaborations were structured. Historically, global collaborations involving top-tier Korean artists follow a similar pattern. Private studio sessions months in advance. Recording often takes place quietly in Los Angeles, London, or Seoul long before public announcements. Informal public interactions before confirmation. Artists and producers may appear in the same venues, award shows, or fashion events prior to official reveal. Strategic silence from agencies. Labels typically decline comment until contracts, marketing schedules, and distribution plans are finalized. Sudden coordinated teaser drop. Once all parties align, announcements come rapidly and globally. If Jungkook were entering a new collaboration phase in early 2026, current industry behavior would align with historical precedent. However, precedent does not equal proof. Jungkook's solo brand has evolved significantly since his first independent releases. He is no longer framed solely as BTS's youngest member or a promising soloist. He is now positioned as a global streaming force, a fashion industry ambassador, a cross-market pop performer. This positioning affects collaboration dynamics. International producers are more likely to approach Jungkook not as a regional artist entering Western space, but as an equal global peer. That distinction matters. It shifts creative power balance. In 2026, Jungkook does not need Western validation. Any collaboration would likely be strategic rather than aspirational. Jungkook's prior solo work demonstrated measurable global impact across Spotify global charts, Billboard Hot 100, UK official charts, and Asian streaming platforms. Streaming performance affects negotiation leverage. If discussions are indeed happening, Jungkook's team would be negotiating from a position of strength. Proven international radio viability, strong English language performance, established Western fan base. In business terms, that reduces risk for potential collaborators. The economics support possibility. One overlooked factor in collaboration speculation is Jungkook's fashion diplomacy. Luxury fashion events serve as cross-industry networking hubs. Music executives, film producers, creative directors, and global brand strategists intersect there. When Jungkook appears at such events, it is not purely aesthetic positioning, it is ecosystem integration. Cultural analysts note that modern pop collaborations are often seeded through brand partnerships, award show backstage meetings, private label-hosted dinners. Therefore, proximity at fashion events is not meaningless, but it is also not confirmation. ARMY communities have a documented history of accurate prediction. Examples from previous years include correctly identifying teaser symbolism, predicting collaboration announcements from subtle social cues, detecting trademark filings before official press releases. However, fan deduction operates on probability patterns, not inside confirmation. In the current case, online analysis includes cross-referencing travel schedules, monitoring producer geotags, audio waveform speculation from live stream background sounds. While impressive, these methods remain interpretive. The distinction between pattern recognition and verified reporting must remain clear. If an international collaboration were announced in 2026, it could take several forms. Scenario A, single release featuring Western pop artist, a radio-friendly pop track designed for global chart performance. Scenario B, producer-led project. Jungkook collaborates primarily with a high-profile producer rather than another vocalist. Scenario C, genre experiment, a shift toward alternative R&B, electronic, or indie pop to redefine artistic identity. Scenario D, soundtrack contribution, a collaboration tied to a film, streaming series, or global campaign. Each scenario carries different strategic implications. Notably, Jungkook has expressed interest in artistic growth rather than repetition. If collaboration occurs, innovation would likely be prioritized over formula replication.